All right, this is my second devlog of the Survive the Night game I've been kind of building out. This is a multiplayer online game. I just been building just for fun. Like, it's just a nice change from web development. You know, you get to play with doing sprite sheets, you get to play with doing sounds and all this other cool stuff. And you get to learn about game development, which is a completely different niche than web development, but it's a nice hybrid because there's a lot of web development going on here. There's WebSockets, there's a front end, there's a back end. This whole app is built with React. Inside of it, there's HTML5 canvas. But anyway, let me give you the updates on the things that I've kind of added here. So I added a nice landing page. I do need to kind of change the font here, make it look a little bit more creepy. But we have a changelog. So we see all the changes that get added. I basically have a Claude code command. I do /release and I say minor, patch, or major. And it's going to automatically bump my package.json. It goes and it tags my Git repo automatically with the new version. And then it updates a JSON file that has a summary of all the things I have in my staging for Git. Okay, so it kind of made it a lot more efficient of like making this changelog, which has been pretty nice. Leaderboard doesn't actually show anything. This is all fake numbers. And then GitHub links to my GitHub. Now let's actually join the game and I'll show you some of the cool features that are different from the last time. Now, honestly, I don't remember what I talked about in the last devlog, so I'm going to probably ramble in this one. But the main changes is there's not a day and night cycle anymore. It's just always day, right? The game's called Survive the Night. We are trying to get through the whole night, and the night has multiple waves of zombies that come at you. Some of the main changes were I added a bear trap. So if you pick up, let's see, we need some 3 wood and some cloth. The bear trap item allows you to place a bear trap, and when a zombie goes over it, they will actually get ensnared and they can no longer move. So you can kind of place these around the base to trap zombies, and then you can actually shoot them, and then you can rearm the bear trap when it's done. I changed a lot of the logic for stacking. The inventory management was becoming a nightmare. Like, everything was taking up a slot, but now you can actually have like multiple things in your inventory. Like the walls will actually stack, and then I can select the wall and I can place them. I don't think I actually demoed this. So like I changed it so you can actually use your mouse to place items. So if you have a bunch of items in your inventory, you can click them and you can actually kind of start building out a base with the other people in the server to defend the campsite. When I was beta testing this game, it just wasn't really fun. Like, there was no objective. People were just going off and just kind of exploring the map by themselves. There wasn't really like a co-op objective to the game. And so I kind of changed the idea of there is this thing that everyone has to protect. In our case, it's a car. This is like a getaway car. And if it gets to 0 HP, everyone in the server basically loses. So it gives them a reason to make sure that they're always going back to base to defend the car. Some other changes I made is that you can no longer really explore unless you have a torch. So notice that I have a torch in my hand. If I switch it to a gun, it's pitch black. I cannot see, right? And so that kind of changed the mechanics a little bit to make it so it's kind of harder to go off and just explore. You actually need to like manage these lightings. And there's actually an item called a miner's hat, which I'll go ahead and put on, where if you happen to find this one, you will always have light around you. So it's kind of like a flashlight. You don't have to actually have it selected. I can have my gun out and I have a miner's hat. Okay. Another thing I added in were these NPCs you can rescue. So this is a person with a gun. They can shoot like once a second, but if you press F on them, they get teleported back to your base, and they actually just wander around your base, and they basically defend the car for you. Okay, so the objective is you want to go out and explore all the biomes and rescue people that spawn on these biomes. And I added a feature to allow people to quickly get back to base, because like as you're exploring, you're pretty far, and having to walk all the way back to base was kind of a pain. So now you can hold down C, which, assuming you don't get hit, it'll teleport you back to base after about 3 seconds. So now I'm going to get teleported back to base. We should hopefully see that NPC walking around, unless he got killed. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. He's down here just shooting at random zombies. There is a limit to how far they should be able to wander, so I need to kind of reduce that because it looks like he's just kind of going rogue over here and shooting up everybody. Also, it looks like he can shoot really far, so I do need to tweak that as well. But again, the idea is like I want the people in the server to work together to build defenses around the game so that you can kind of keep the car alive. Now, in terms of the resource gathering, I don't know if I mentioned this, but over on the right, they used to be in the inventory, but I switched them to just be like its own separate thing. So if I have my head, you'll see that there's cloth, there's wood, and there's coins. So as you're picking these things up, you can then start crafting various items. Because it was just becoming a nightmare to like manage all these things in your inventory. Also, we added the ability to have crates that drop around the map, and they always have 3 random items in it, which it kind of also gives a reason for the people to go exploring to the edges of the map, because these crates can have some pretty good items. I added a sentry gun. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but basically you can build a stationary gun that kind of shoots at zombies when they come close. It's kind of similar to these NPCs, but the sentry gun you can build yourself. And again, this is just to try to help build up the base building aspect of the game. And honestly, I think that's about it. I don't know if there's really much else to talk about. I mean, I did spend a bunch of time doing some optimizations. So I made the server run a lot faster. Before, it was using like 4 or 5 milliseconds per tick just to recompute the spatial grid. So if you don't know how games kind of work, at least when your map gets larger, looping over every entity and updating them can become problematic, because like the zombie has to find things around it to target. And using something called a spatial grid basically splits up your map into smaller cells. So as your zombies walk around, you don't actually have to go and find every single entity and filter down by distance. You just say, hey, give me the things that are within, like, you know, my spatial grid here. And then you can just quickly check, am I close enough to shoot the players that I'm near? Okay, so I refactored that code a lot. I also added in compression to the network. So if I go and look at the network tab and go to WebSockets over here and refresh, you should see that the events I get back from the server, they are a lot more optimized. So like before, this was just a giant JSON object with, you know, a bunch of keys that were super long. Now it's actually kind of optimized. There are some more things I can do to optimize it to reduce the amount of bandwidth, but I basically cut down the size of every payload from the server in half. So before, some of these were hitting like 600 and now they're at 332. I will say there's a lot more optimization I need to do here to kind of prune down how much network traffic is being sent. But again, this is a work in progress. I try to add features, and then once I get to a fun playable state, I go through and I refactor code to make it run smoother on both the client and also on the server. And again, I'm not a game developer, so a lot of this stuff I'm learning as I go. I chat with an LLM. I go and read some articles online about how you can make you know, client-side prediction better. I did tweak the client-side prediction a little bit to make it a little bit more smoother, but again, that's something I need to kind of circle back on and make sure that I have pretty locked down. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can go check out the game at survivethenightgame.com. Let me know if there's any bugs. You can join my Discord and let me know. Or if it's super laggy. Oh, another thing, you can repair the car. So like, if a zombie were to breach your base and start attacking your car, you can actually start repairing it. It is a very slow process. It repairs like 1 HP per second, and I think the car has like 100 HP. So it kind of designates that one person has to be maintain the base, or 2 people need to be maintain the base, and then other people can go off and explore to get more resources and come back and maybe drop them off somewhere so other people can share them. Yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little overview. Again, you guys are welcome to contribute if you want to. Join my Discord. There's a Survive the Night channel on the left of my Discord. You can go there. You can ask, you know, what features can you contribute on? Or if you have a really cool idea you want to add in, pitch it to me. I'll say, yeah, that's really cool. Make a pull request and I'll merge it. Other than that, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day. Happy coding.